Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gallery of Obscure Words That Fit Famous Faces. The first word on our tour is indeed one of the most mysterious words in the language, obscure almost by its very definition. The word, of course, is inscrutable. Breaking the word down, we find the root word scrut, from the Latin word meaning to search, as in scrutiny, which means a very thorough investigation. The suffix able, as we know, means capable of. Thus, the word scrutable means capable of being thoroughly investigated and therefore understood. However, by adding the prefix in, which means not, we reverse the meaning, and so inscrutable means incapable of being understood, mysterious, impenetrable. Hence the phrase, inscrutable smile, which so aptly fits the face of our famous lady, if only she could talk. Ta-ta! Next, we have a word in the same school as inscrutable. Not only does the word immutable rhyme with inscrutable, but it also has the same prefix and suffix. Actually, the prefixes differ by one letter, but both in and im as prefixes can mean not. And the suffix able, we know, means capable of. So whatever our root word, we know that to be immutable is to be incapable of something. The root muta means change, as in the word mutate. Immutable, then, must mean unchangeable. And no matter how hard we try, we simply cannot get these faces to change their expressions. One of my favorite words, cerebral. Now, what would be the meaning of a word that fits this famous face?
Frizzy?
Obviously, our word is not in your vocabulary. Anyone else like to have a go at the meaning?
Smart?
Close. Let's be more specific. Look at the root word cerebrum, which is the largest part of the brain. Cerebrum means pertaining to the brain. So if we describe a person as cerebral, we are saying that he gives his brain a good workout. Misanthrope, a rather nasty little word that fits this rather nasty literary face. The prefix is a rather nasty one too. Mis comes from a Greek word meaning to hate. Mis is also a Latin prefix meaning wrong or bad. You can probably figure out the root word anthrop from the word anthropology.
The study of mankind.
Indeed. Since anthrop means man or mankind, we know that a misanthrope is a miserable cuss who hates mankind.
Didn't he change at the end of the book?
Well, yes. Owing to this charming lad, Ebenezer Scrooge did mend his ways. Tiny Tim, one of Dickens' most lovable characters. Indeed, so kind-hearted was Tim that he never once complained about Scrooge's mean-spirited ways. He didn't even see them. The word to describe this generosity of spirit, benevolent. The word comes from a combination of the Latin word bene, which means well or good, and the Latin word vol, which means wish. Together they form a Latin word benevolens, which translates into kind-hearted, generous, charitable, one who thinks of others before himself. Now, if you'll move this way, here, we have one of our most famous monarchs, Henry VIII. He was famous not only for being a bad marriage risk, but also for showing an extraordinary lack of willpower at the table. And so the word that fits this famous face, or should we say body, is corpulent. With all those clues, you should have no problem guessing what the word means.
Fat. Slob. Hefty. El puerco.
Indeed, corpulent, from the Latin root words corpus, referring to the body, and lentus, a suffix used in adjectives, meaning full of, portly, stout, to put it plain, fat. And now, on to our next word. And here we have one last obscure word and one last famous face. Dracula, baleful. They even sound like they go together. Baleful could only mean full of. Does anyone know?
Teeth?
He. A little vampire wit, my friend. But no, the word bale means full of menace and evil influence. It comes from an old English word that means evil or harm. Well, you've been lovely guests, but it's just about closing time, so do let's leave before darkness falls. Governor Steeljaw says the nation is in danger.
The nation is in jeopardy.
Governor Steeljaw says a vote for his opponent will leave us with deep regrets.
A vote for my opponent will leave you feeling remorse.
Governor Steeljaw says we should show each other friendship.
We should show each other amity.
Governor Steeljaw says America should be a fortress.
America should be a bastion.
Governor Steeljaw says his opponent says the same thing over and over and over.
My opponent is redundant, and he's redundant.
Governor Steeljaw is always happy and carefree.
I am blithe.
Governor Steeljaw says his opponent is just trying to hold him back.
My opponent is trying to hinder me.